What's going on, fish tank people? Bringing it to you on a Tuesday, doing some maintenance, doing some water change. It's Tank Tuesday. I was hoping to do this on Monday. I would have called it Maintenance Monday. I usually do all my water changes and maintenance on Fridays, but I was too busy Friday, busy all weekend. I'm just getting around to doing it. Got a water change going on my 80-gallon planted tank right now. After that, I need to check out this hang-on back Emperor filter that I got. It's making a lot of noise. I don't know if something's caught in the impeller or not, but I had to switch over to that because unfortunately my my old fluval canister finally crapped out of me. I don't know if I should look on getting the motor replaced or just get a new one. But that's what's going on with this tank here. And a future project is right here. Boom, 90-gallon acrylic aquarium. I had to seal up some holes that the previous owner, he had a sump. I think he had this, I forget if he had saltwater or if he had cichlids in here. But yeah, this is a future project, the future home of my marbled goby. I'm going to end up getting rid of the canopy and the stand, and I'm going to make my own stand, and this is pretty much going to sit on the floor, and above it is going to be my 55-gallon tank right here. I haven't done much of this tank. I've been kind of neglecting it just because all of the fish and most of the plants that are in my 80-gallon planted tank are going to go in here. And my marbled goby, boom, awesome fish. He's going to go in the acrylic 90. So eventually the 90-gallon is going to be sitting here. It's going to be towards the floor. Then the 55 will be above that. I'm going to make a real sturdy stand out of 2x4s or what have you. And of course I have my smaller planted tanks, which are doing pretty good. 29-gallon dirt planted tank. Got 4 Serape tetras. I think my cat killed one of my tetras. I catch my cat drinking out of here, and I think he may have munched or caught one and killed it. Got 3 black mollies, 1 blue mystery snail, and somewhere in here is I went and picked up another albino bushy-nosed pleco. And since I've had the snail and the pleco in here, it seems like I haven't had to do as much maintenance as far as algae is concerned. I cut back my lighting. It was 8 hours. I cut it back to 5.5, 6. And I got this cheap Petco power head to give, put some more water movement in here. And it seems to be working. Here's a bunch of this narrow leaf Ludwigia that I got from Planted Tank Nation. I gotta say, this is probably my favorite stem plant. It's a real hardy, tough plant. I mean that by it's like the stems are like, it has a lot of structural integrity, not like the Rotala indica that seems kind of delicate. You can take this stuff and jam it down into the gravel and the substrate. It's not going to break off. Here I have my 18-gallon dirt planted tank. Right now it's just 1 neon tetra, and I had a bunch of I finally noticed a bunch of fry from my black mollies, and I figured I'll take them out tomorrow. And when I came back the next day, there was 1 left. The others had gotten eaten, so I saved 1. He's kind of hanging out back there. I don't know if you can see him or not. Yeah, I saved him or her. Hopefully I'll get some more. I'll put them down here. But I went and bought some more neons, and I guess they were sick. I must have done something wrong because all but 1 of them died on me. So I have to replenish my neons on this tank. But other than that, it's looking pretty good. I still got to do a water change on this tank, and of course my 29-gallon tank. The jungle val in this thing is just taken off. I took some over to my brother-in-law. He has a 125-gallon tank. He's trying to work with plants. I need to head over there. I'm not sure how they're doing. I'm sure they've melted back a little bit, but hopefully they're starting to take off. And of course I have my banana lily in here. I got my wide leaf or giant sag. I think I got 3 runners off the main plant I got in here. But the fish are all doing happy and healthy, begging for food as usual. Gallon filling back up, and the python just barely reaches the tank. And what I do is I take the suction hose or the gravel vac tube, and I got it just kind of flowing in there so it doesn't make a big mess when the water flows back and hits the sand. I remember the good old days when water changes involved a very short siphon hose and buckets. Lots and lots of buckets. So yeah, if you don't have one of the Python water change systems or something similar, it is worth its weight in gold. I'm trying to get this Rotala indica growing and filling in the far right side of the tank, and I'm kind of having some success with it. I think it would be doing better if it was in dirt rather than just a sand substrate. But like I said, eventually most of the plants will be going into the 55-gallon, as well as all these little fishies. And this tank, I'll probably leave the dwarf pike in here. I think he'll be okay. I'm gonna have Pictus catfish, Hugetta gar. They go by a couple of common names: rocket gar, silver spot gar, and the small needle-nose gar. They're not actually gar; they just look like gar, so that's why they have that common name. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that filter, but it's making a lot of noise. It wasn't doing that when I first cleaned it up and put it in here. So I'm going to pull it out, clean around the impeller, and see if that makes a difference. But yeah, banana lilies, loving those plants. Loving the Java fern. Java moss has come back to life, not surprisingly. And loving the Cryptocoryne spiralis. I don't know if you can see it, but I have a root shooting all the way towards the front of the glass and then coming up. And I think it's the spiral crypt. I've heard that they send runners way out. So it looks like I may end up getting another plant popping up right in front of the glass. All right, 2 down, 2 to go. When I'm doing water changes on my smaller planted tanks, I will switch to the smaller gravel vac tube. Makes it a little easier. We'll just get this filled up. Get the siphon going. And I'll try to wedge this in somewhere, maybe against the driftwood. And there we go. Okay folks, sorry about the glare there. It can be kind of hard to get good shots in the daytime. But yeah, routine water changes is probably one of the most important aspects of fish keeping in aquariums. It's right up there with cycling your tank. Water quality determines the continued health and growth of your inhabitants. It's not just an aesthetic concern, but it's a fundamental part of the health of your plants and your fish. You got to remember, it's not like an ocean or a river or even a lake that has such a large volume of water and things are diluted. Aquariums are closed systems where the concentrations of chemicals and impurities they steadily accumulate over time. So it's real easy for that to exceed the aquarium's ability to filter that out. So there are definitely distinct benefits to small, regular water changes. They help restore and maintain a balanced aquarium by physically removing and diluting harmful chemicals and waste that build up. Ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate are nitrogen compounds that are harmful to fish. The biological filtration process, it converts ammonia into nitrite and then finally into nitrate. And these small aquatic environments that we create, they lack the ideal conditions to effectively process nitrate, and as a result, nitrate accumulation is very common in both fresh and saltwater aquariums. And while fish are more tolerant of nitrate, high nitrate levels can place chronic stress on fish. So, if this happens, they become more susceptible to disease and demonstrate poor growth and color development. So, the routine removal of decaying organics and fish through water changes it's a very important process. In extreme cases, decomposing organic materials can create an acidic environment that can compromise the buffering capacity of your water. Again, making your fish more susceptible to disease. Routine water changes, they also help remove discoloration and odors from your aquarium water. Over time, frequent small water changes will actually save you time, giving you less time fighting with your aquarium and working to keep it clean and healthy, and it will give you more time to sit back and relax and enjoy your fish or something else that you enjoy doing. These water changes don't have to be large to be effective. They just have to be regular. The longer you go between the water changes, the larger the water changes need to be to effectively keep the tank healthy and stable. A large water change in turn possesses a greater risk of stress to the fish, plants, and biological filter. It's a larger change in water chemistry and temperature. Frequent water changes are also easier on fish because it's easier for them to get used to the routine. It reduces the stress of the water change in general because fish, I guess they sort of know what's coming if it's happening once a week or once every other week or so. Small water changes are also usually easier for the aquarium owner to schedule and get in the habit of doing. So, it's definitely something that I try to keep on top of.